Imagine being such an unrepentant narcissist that you convince yourself that you not experiencing bigotry as a gay man is the result of just how awesome you are and not the result of generations of activism from the LGBTQ folks who came before you. This is Evan, and if you watch much political content on here, you may have seen his smug little face come across your page. I don't normally do clapback content, but I decided to make a special exception for Evan this one time, because Evan is using his own identity as a gay man to tell people that federal protections for LGBTQ folks just aren't necessary, and that maybe the discrimination that other queer folks experience is just a skill issue on our part, because clearly we haven't shown the bigots just how much we bring to the table, because as we all know, bigots famously all stop being bigoted the instant that a gay person is like, but y'all, I have so many skills to offer the community. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. I want to be fair to Evan, so I'm going to give him the floor now to describe his stance to you in his own words.
If gay people aren't allowed in a neighborhood, in a store, in a church, what have you, I, as a gay person, do not want to use the government to force them to accept me. True acceptance is something that has to be achieved organically. The way that I got people to accept me was by bringing so much to the table that people voluntarily associated with me.
Now, I don't know about you, but as a proud rural Southern queer woman, the first thing I noticed about Evan's video is just how little of a discernible accent Evan seems to have despite claiming to be from the South. And that made me curious. Where does Evan live? Because surely a man living in a part of the country known for being very liberal, even if it is in the South, wouldn't get on Beyonce's internet to lecture the rest of us living in far less safe areas for LGBTQ folks about how we don't need federal protections, we just need to be more noticeably awesome. I'm not going to say where exactly Evan lives in the country, but I will say that a photo he posted of himself on another platform celebrating the fact that he just voted, which one does where one lives, particularly when you're a member of the party who has spent years demonizing vote by mail, had a billboard in the background promoting an event at a well-known location. And that made it very easy for me to confirm that Evan, despite claiming to be from the South, lives somewhere where 71.88% of Americans who voted cast their ballot for Kamala Harris. In other words, Evan is able to fix his smug, ignorant little mouth to advocate against protecting LGBTQ folks from bigots because he, as a gay man, lives somewhere he isn't surrounded by those bigots and therefore doesn't feel the need to have any protections from them. But again, I am a proud Southern rural queer woman. When I say I'm from the South, I actually mean the South. I'm from the parts of the country that something tells me Evan would never lower himself to actually go to. And honestly, I don't blame him for that, because as much as I love my home state and my hometown, I know that somewhere in that triangular head of his, he's aware of just how much dangerous bigotry queer folks like us experience in those parts of the country. And I'm sure that he's aware of it because the same exact people who happily spit on queer folks as we're just trying to live our lives make up a substantial portion of Evan's audience. Evan knows that he has built a platform off of being yet another low-effort token tap dancing in front of bigots as they throw pennies at his feet. But Evan, just because you're willing to sell out your own dignity and you feel comfortable doing so because you know that your tokenism won't actually cost you anything and that it's the rest of us actually living next to the bigots that you regularly comfort and justify with your content who are actually going to pay the price. And for that, Evan, you can go straight to hell.